Good morning, everybody. Mike from Mike's Country Meats, my son Randy. Here we're gonna skin and show you the sportsman how to skin properly a deer. We're gonna cape this one out for some practice so everybody gets kind of an idea of what we're doing. And we'll go step to step on how to process your deer that you spent how much time in the woods ready to harvest. So we took the hind legs off with the knife at the joint. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the legs started here, and we're gonna roll the hide back down. Normally, when we used to do thousands of deer a season, we'd skin them from the head back, but we got a little different way of doing it here this year. Seeing how we don't do any deer other than our own if we get one. So Randy's working on that leg. As soon as he gets it going here, we'll get the flank started, and we'll start rolling it down backwards, and we'll show you how to get this thing going. Okay, what we're going to do is normally after we got the deer skinned, we would take a bigger torch and singe the few hair that are on there. Then 99.9% of the hair all eliminated. What we're going to do is I'm going to break this deer down, then we'll take it inside where it's a little nicer, and we'll show you what parts and stuff what we're going to do here. The shoulders just come off very, very easily. It seems right apart there, so you can take them off. Then here's your whole shoulder. Randy's got the other one there. And then what we usually do is trim this, just the hair from when you took the intestines and stuff out. This is pretty much just get rid of it because it's got a lot of bacteria and stuff on it. It's just dirty. Then what we usually do is, you as a good hunter, you took the tenderloins out already. So we got that part out. This flank here we'll take off. We'll cut it up to here. And you take this down just so you can see the little bit of stuff here, because that's where your chops and stuff will start. Take this off. This stuff you can all use for sausage, venison burger, whatever. Just takes a little bit of cleaning up. And again, you can see how it rolls right by where the loin is. Just take it down to the first, when you hit the rib, take it off like that. Then I usually pull the sirloin tips out, which again, you can use these. You gotta come at a little bit of an angle down, so you kind of match up this way, that way. The sirloin tips you can use for steaks, roasts, stir fry, stew meat. Pretty much you can make the call on what you want to use it for. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the flanks or the rib meat and stuff off. It's like taking the ribs off of spare ribs. Just you kind of go around them. Some guys will cut the ribs out and make ribs out of them. I've had them; they're not bad. But you gotta wash them all up. It's a little monkeying around, but you're getting more out of your deer if you do it. Some guys call it the tenderloins, but technically it's the chop side of the deer. The tenderloins are on the inside. A lot of guys don't know the difference between the chops and the tenderloin, believe it or not. So, and if you feel, there's a little where you can feel it right there. You can pop that knife in there and go right down the side. And again, it just about falls out of there if you got it right. Come on, there we go. There's your other chop. And then when you get to the H bone here, we'll need that to hang this thing back up again. You can, where the H bone is here, just take your knife and follow that around real, just take a little diligence. And follow that around. And right there's the joint again. Most of this is, you're trying to hit the joints and seam it out. You follow that H bone around with your knife and tug a little bit. As you can tell, it's been a little bit since I did some here. But there's your whole hindquarter. And if you rehang it like that, I'll show you how to work on that. It's very simple. There is some false meat right here. So what we usually do is just trim, you know, the dark stuff from the air getting at it, from transporting it or whatever. Just trim this off. Take your knife and just lightly score it up here. That false meat here will come off. Take that like that. And again, this can all be used for sausage, hamburger, whatever you want to do with it. Then, as you can see, there's an arch kind of here. You can see where the seam is here. If you just gently slice that, you can seam this round right apart. This right here would be your top round. Again, clean it all up real nice. You can use it for steaks, stir fry, a roast, chop suey, beef stew meat or venison stew meat. What we have hanging here yet is what we call the bottom round. Basically the same thing. You hit the seams, it comes right apart. There's your bottom round, same deal. Steaks, chops, roasts. Here's your sirloin off of the thing. And nice little steaks or stew meat or whatever. You know, we'll show you how to clean that all up. And again, here's your shank. Go like this, go like that here. You got one hindquarter, other than boning the leg out, done. So here we got, here's one top round. Here's the other. Again, just skim the dark stuff off. You know, make them, put it this way, like everybody says, the guys will eat a little dirty. It's the women that you got to impress because they're the ones who won't eat it. You can use it, again, this is how we used to do them. We'd leave that in one piece. You could cut it for steaks, just cut them down for single steaks, butterfly them, use it for a roast, cut it up for stew meat, stir fry. That way when you get home, you can make the call. It maybe looks like a little bigger piece of meat, but so you make steaks one night out of it, make stew out of the rest of it. You know, that way you're making a call out of it, not that all of a sudden, well, how come they're all door stops, they're wedges, because, you know, everybody's in a hurry, they do them fast. So this is basically how we always used to do them. We'd leave them just like this. Now this is your loin out of the back of the deer, which are the chops. Again, you just pull it a little bit, it'll separate off. You might have to give it a little encouragement if it sticks a couple spots here. But again, this all just pulls off. There's your chops, it's nice, it's one piece. Just take your time, a nice sharp knife. What you gotta do is slide it underneath the silver skin here. Angle it up just a little bit. Takes a little practice. You wanna get as much as this off because this is pretty chewy. So here again is your chops, the inside of it. This is the outside where we went down the back. You can cut these for single chops, butterfly them down. A lot of guys, what we used to do is just cut them in 3 pieces. That way you can cut them as thick or as thin as you want, or use it, or marinate it, put it on the grill whole. A lot of guys do that too. So, okay, these pieces that we got here now, it's a little monkeying around, but this was the stuff that was around the chest. What we're gonna do is clean this up, get most of the fat off, make sure there's none of this bloody snotty stuff on it. Again, sausage, meat, hamburger. So we're gonna get this stuff cleaned up, then we'll show you how to do the front quarters to make your roasts or whatever. So, okay, so what we got here now, guys, these were the shoulders that we took off in the beginning. We're gonna show you, we're gonna pull the shoulder clot out of here, the Scotch roll, and bone the rest out. We can make some nice roasts out of this, again, or stew meat, sausage meat, hamburger. You just gotta basically, you gotta kind of let your knife walk along the bones a little bit. It's gotta be a little flexible. And what we're doing right here is I'm rolling the Scotch roll out. Randy, I think, is taking the clot off of that side. You know, once if you do it a few times, you kind of get to figure it out. It takes everybody a little bit to figure it out. But here's the shoulder blade. Here's where a lot of guys, when you shoot, that's where these gloves come in. They'll hit this shoulder blade and this whole bone will be exploded in here. That's where you get the pokes, and that's why these gloves are for $3 or $4 for a dozen of them. When you're done, throw them away. Put the rest of them in a Ziploc bag for next year, and you got them again. It just eliminates all that bone pokes and stuff. But here we have the shoulder clod. Here we got the, what they call in the business, the Scotch roll part of it, which we'll show you how to put that all together to make a nice roast. We get this mess cleaned up here a little bit. Okay, now we got everything pretty well cleaned up. All our parts are in the tub. These are the 2 shoulders that we had left that we can make roasts out of, and I'll show you how to tie it. Anybody can get some, heavier twine or whatever. What you do is you slide it underneath, take these 2 fingers, wrap this string around and kind of go like this and catch it and pull it through. It makes like a slip knot. You pull it tight and you put a cinch lock knot behind it like that. I'll do this one for you, and then we always just use a jet netter with netting. Does the same thing, just like what you got in the grocery stores. It makes it look a little nicer. And it's way faster than this when you're doing lots of deer. So, and there you go. There you got your boneless shoulder roast. You can cut it in half, make 2 roasts out of it, 1 roast, or whatever. Basically, you're going to do the same thing with the neck. Tie it up, cut it. If it's a good sized deer, 1 roast, 2 roasts, 3 roasts, or you can use it for your hamburger meat or your sausage meat or whatever. So, and basically, guys, I hope you learned something on how to do a whitetail. It's fairly simple. It takes a little practice. You'll get it. I guess YouTube it or whatever if it can help you out a little bit. But this is how you do a Wisconsin whitetail, 100% boneless, and have a safe and successful season.
I just got back from Mike's Meats. They helped me process buck I shot up in Minnesota. But now I have the Nitscke vacuum sealer here, and I gotta start putting all this venison in the freezer. So I'm gonna show you how to use it. Let me tell you, I have never used this one before. I just took it out of the box, read the manual, and it's really easy to use. So the first step is take the roll that comes in the box. It comes with 2, one's a bigger one, one's a smaller one. You place the roll inside the roll holder back here, and you feed about 1 to 14 inches worth, depending on how much meat you want to put inside. And there's a knife right here that's built in. You just press down, slide that across, and there's your bag. But because it has a hole on both ends, we have to seal one end off, as you can see. Hole on both ends. So you place one end of the bag on this brown strip right here. Place the lid down, lock it in, and now there's settings on here. There's vacuum and there's manual seal. We're gonna manual seal this one. You just press manual seal once, and it takes about 15 seconds to seal off the bag. Once the light's off, unlock it, lift the lid, and one end of your bag is sealed. So, next step is you take the meat you want to put in here. These vacuum sealed bags work great for fish, seasonings. So depending on the size of your bag and how much meat you have, I've been placing roughly about 3 to 4 steaks in this one. So this bag has got 4 steaks in it. You want to kind of flatten it out as much as possible. So then you take off your open end, and there's a little ridge right here. You place the open end underneath these 2 black prongs right there. Press the lid down, lock it in again, and now you're going to hit vacuum and seal. So as you can hear now, it's sucking all the air out of the bag. And now after it sucks the air out, it has to seal it as well. Once again, once the light's off, unlock it, lift your lid, and there you go. One vacuum sealed bag of venison steaks. Now this is really easy to use. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever used it. Read the manual, opened it up, and I've sealed probably 15 bags in about a half hour or so. So I also have a whole pail of scraps to use that I'm going to make into hamburger, so we're going to use the grinder as well and vacuum seal those as well. All right, so now I have this bin here full of scraps. We got the shard grinder here. Haven't used that before until tonight. Super easy to assemble. This all comes in the box assembled. The razor, the correct head you want to use to make your hamburger. There's smaller heads, bigger heads. You screw that right on, and then your tool to push the meat down in. Pretty simple. You just turn it on. There's 3 settings on here. There's stuffing, and then all the way at the bottom is grind. So, you have your hamburger right there. Using the Nitscke American Harvest Sealer right there, I have some bags already pre-sealed up. So, you take your hamburger, throw it in the bag, place the open end underneath the black tabs, close it, lock it down. Now press vacuum and seal. And as you can see, all the air is being sucked out of the bag right now. And now after the air's sucked out, it seals the bag. And once the red light turns off, it's sealed. Unlock it, lift the bag, and there you have a sealed bag full of fresh venison hamburger. This grinder here has been doing a great job. I mean, this bin was tight full of scraps. I haven't had it plug up once, and this is only electric motor, not very big as you can see. It's very small, convenient. You can store it in your house, and you can do a lot of work with it. So if you're looking more for these, look up the Shard grinder.